There we go. We are recording. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay, we will call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Do we have any agenda items that we need to cover before we get into the variance requests, Mark or Daphne?
It's always good to approve the minutes. Sometimes the minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of the meeting minutes from last time, is anything else outstanding that we need to cover?
If not, it would have to be listed on the agenda. So
okay. All right. Then did everybody have an opportunity to review the minutes from last meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any comments, changes, considerations?
Look good to me. I'll make a motion to accept the notes. Excuse me.
Okay.
Second.
From the last meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, aye. So Mark made the motion. Who seconded it?
I had John is who I heard.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay, then let's see, we'll open the hearing portion at 5:02.
Okay.
And Mark or Daphne, could you please read the first item on the agenda this evening?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, Daphne.
So the first one is for 2157 Middleton Beach Road. So the owners, Jamie and Matt Flanagan, are requesting a variance. I believe they've made some changes to their submittal, so we're actually gonna have to do another meeting for the actual public hearing for it because they've made some changes to the design. But essentially they have a detached garage that they would like to build up higher than the allowed 15 feet.
Okay. Is there any other staff reports or site inspections that the city has made at this point?
Neither Daphne nor I I'm aware of. Daphne, did you go out? You didn't go out there, did you?
No, I haven't.
No. But I looked at the aerial photography and I'm familiar with the property. We both are.
Okay.
From materials provided.
Okay, so there's really no reports that you need to read. Is there any related correspondence that we need to be aware of other than the items that you've submitted in the packet?
No.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. Are we addressing the increased height at this meeting, or is this being postponed to another meeting?
Well, I made the determination. You're welcome to discuss it, but in my view, because the notice was for something that was more conservative than what they're requesting, in my view, it has to be renoticed. I did give the applicants that information already. That was disappointing to them, but they understood. From what I understand, I believe they understand. It wasn't the preferred result, but because the increase is beyond what was originally noticed, it was my view that we have to send a new notice and basically start the process, resume the process. I mean, basically postpone a decision tonight. The reason why I encouraged them to still come to this meeting was to get your feedback on their variance request and if there's anything else they need to address when they come back at the next meeting.
I think you did correctly, Mark. They increase the height. Legally, the neighbors have to be informed of the correct variance they're asking for. But I'm glad if they're here, we can give them some advice maybe.
Okay. The applicants feel free to go ahead and discuss your variance with us.
Yeah, so we are looking to build a 1.5 story garage at the property at 2157 Middleton Beach Road. You correctly referenced our previous request and the change to it. We're looking to have storage over our garage because as the home site is designed currently, as well as the high water tables, we have limited storage available in the home itself. We will be doing a slab on grade, so there's no crawl space, no potential for storage. And when we had the initial submittal, our belief was that we had a crawl space for storage underneath the home itself. And subsequently we had soil borings that were taken care of, and we've got records from both our architect as well as the soil boring folks do indicate that, you know, our best option was to do slab on grade. And for us, we have 2 teenage boys trying to make sure that we had room and space, was to try to put an attic over the garage for storage.
Can I interrupt? Is this Matt speaking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is your last name Flanagan, Matt, just for the record?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Well, just for your info, Matt, there is a way you can get a crawl space still. And that would be, I think the code says you have to be so many inches above normal high water with your lowest floor.
Okay,
That would become your crawl space floor. Your foundation walls then could be, 3.5 to 4 feet above that, on which you'd put your floor system. Now, what that means is you would be sticking out of the ground further than your drawings here, and you would have to have steps up to the front door. But I'm just telling you, that's a possibility.
Our architect actually gave us 2 options after we got the soil borings, and that was one of them. Raising the house, he said, would be a minimum of 3 feet out of the ground. But based on him, it said there's still no guarantees that that wouldn't flood, and it would require more siding and whatnot. And that for the cost, the desire is to get more storage. And he said it wouldn't be adequate storage. It would just be a less than 3 feet tall crawl space. So our architect said, let's just go slab on grade. We won't have to worry about flooding or any other issues like that. And with that, we lost any storage we thought we were going to have.
Okay, so it was addressed.
Yep.
Okay, good. One other thing is when you look at the cross-section of the proposed garage, and you have scissors trusses in there. You know what I'm saying by scissors trusses?
Yep.
If you were to just take that lower cord, which would be the ceiling, and make that rafters, you would drop the peak down so that your midpoint would become lower also. Now, I'm not sure whether that'd be enough to get you out of the requirement for a variance or not, but I'm just saying that because of the scissor truss, your peak got up quite a bit higher.
I did ask our architect if there was any way to avoid, if we could keep the midpoint of the gable lower, and he's not responding to that. And I think he just wants to keep the roof pitch the same as the house pitch. But I do see what you're saying. Like make this third.
I think so.
Paul, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
But I
I do.
think even if we make that the roof, it is still doesn't meet the variance.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. Okay.
Can I outline
Okay.
a procedural matter for Paul? I think it would be better to go through the hearing testimony right now, if there's any other testimony, and then field the alternative discussion. That would be my recommendation.
Are there is there anyone else on the call to speak on behalf or against the variance?
Well, Mark Opitz, why would we even listen to that if it's not even addressing what's actually going to be in place? Someone can say, oh yeah, I like the way it was.
They're still requesting a variance for the height, and in the future, it's going to be 2.5 feet higher. But we noticed it as a public hearing, and
Right.
if someone present tonight, we should let them
Okay.
speak.
Okay.
That's the only reason. If we made the statement at the beginning that this is going to have to continue, so maybe nobody else wants to speak now. But I think we're obligated to, since we noticed it, that we give people a chance to talk now. They have talked with their neighbors. We've gotten emails from people, so I'm not surprised if there's nobody on the call that wants to address it. I just wanted to make sure that we went through that step before we had discussion among board members.
Do they have to get new letters based on the fact that they're going up 3 additional feet?
they weren't required to get letters to begin with. I always advise people to talk with their neighbors and,
Okay.
so that they don't surprise them with the news. And then that tends to then lead to, as we saw at the last board meeting, that there tends to be, if people don't know what their neighbors are doing, they tend to be more concerned and have, objections. So,
Okay.
I can contact the neighbors again for the next meeting.
so Paul, why don't you ask if there's anybody, I think you did ask if anybody
I
else
did.
wants
I
to.
asked if there's anybody else on
I
the
don't see,
line. on the
I don't
call.
see any hands up. So if you'd like, then you close the hearing and then continue.
I do have a question. The oak, you do make mention of the oak with your hardship, and you were mentioning a bridge. So
Mhm.
basically, you're keeping the oak in place, right? Is that the way I read everything?
Yeah, but if we
Okay.
have to put a bridge, the oak has to go.
Yeah, we don't want to cut that tree down.
And the purpose of that bridge, the purpose of the bridge would have been to connect it to the house, so it would no longer be a garage and we wouldn't have to go
Exactly.
through this. Yeah.
And if
Right,
it
right, right.
wasn't a sanitary easement, we would just have an attached garage and this would all be
Okay.
a moot point also.
Matt or Jamie, do you guys have a plan of the proposed garage that show where the windows, doors, stairs, etc. are that you could
Yeah.
share with us next time you
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
be helpful as well?
Should I email that to Mark or just have it set for virtually?
Please provide materials in advance of the meeting like you have been, so we can put it in.
Okay.
And Justin, what did you specifically ask for just now?
I was just asking for a plan, a detailed plan. Just I was kind of the size where the stair might be.
That one in the schematics.
Like this?
So yeah, yes, exactly. Yep. Yeah, if you could just provide that for the next
Okay.
meeting, it might.
Will do.
Do you have other items that you would like to share with us?
Us?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. So Mark, since this is, we're not voting on this, do I need to close the public portion and then deliberate as a board?
Yeah, why don't you close the hearing and then any further discussion you wish to have,
Okay.
and then just postpone action.
All right, then I'll close the public portion of this variance hearing at 5:14, and then open it up for any discussion from other board members.
Thank you.
Thank
For the
you.
opportunity.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I guess since we're going to have to revisit this the next time, I would just motion to postpone it until we get the updated information.
Yeah, I'll
Is there a
second
sec-
that.
Okay,
I agree.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So Wolford seconded. Who made the motion? I didn't look at the screen fast enough to see who
Justin.
was. Okay,
Justin, yeah.
Yep.
and seconded by, oh gosh, my memory. Okay, got it.
Mark, do you need you don't need an alternate voting tonight, right?
Oh, Katie's here. We do not. You are dismissed.
Well, I don't mind hanging out, but
Oh,
I didn't know if you needed me to vote.
we
Thank
do
you.
not. Thank you. I didn't know you were here. Sorry.
Mark, can I get a quick question in or not anymore?
It's fine with me.
I think it's fine.
So I gave you the revised packet, and I'll give you these floor plans, but are we doing another 21 days with the sign hanging there now, or?
Oh.
Sadly, yes.
Okay,
Um,
so we
You
for
have-
sure won't have a
Eric?
building permit for at least that amount of time.
Correct. I was going to ask the board members if they can meet again. Well, actually, let's figure this out. So today is the 8th.
Yep.
21 days. We tend to meet on Thursdays. We're not obligated to meet on a Thursday.
Right.
If I got this in the paper, because it has to be noticed in the paper again, if I put it in there tomorrow, it'll be published on the 15th, which actually technically it could be published on the 22nd and still be okay. So yeah, the earliest we could have another meeting is on the 29th of October, and that's if you change your, just put a new date on that. Well, actually, the dilemma is I need to schedule the meeting. You know what? Fine. Just make it a 20. Well, first of all, can the board members meet again on that day? I guess that's the first question we should ask.
Okay.
Mark, can I
That
make a
should
comment?
work.
And
I'm sorry,
Um,
I didn't hear everybody talking. What was that?
Right. Mark Wolford here.
Yes.
If I can make a comment, they could go and get a building permit for the house and the demo
Oh, absolutely.
and start that if they're worried about when they
Oh,
can start.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Sorry. Yes, I missed that part of it.
So, folks, you can do that is get your permit, and then the actual final construction of the garage would be dependent on what happens at the next meeting.
That's
But
great.
I mean, if that's what if you're trying to get going on the project.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did not understand that. Sorry about that.
No,
Oh, thank you.
no, that's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
The 29th is, I'm free that night. For some reason that day is in my head though, and I'm worried that that's like a budget meeting or something, but my calendar's free. So
Well, there's a
Yeah.
zoning variance online training course, but that's in the
Oh.
morning.
Daphne, you're not aware of any conflicts, right?
I don't have anything on my calendar either.
All right.
I'm open.
Does that work for other board members?
Yes.
Works for me.
Okay. So
Works for-
Matt and Jamie, please, if you can use let's see, this was the 8th. If you can just make the 8th, do a 2-9 with it somehow. That's clear, using a thick marker from the street. That's clear. The meeting ID is going to have to change. I can't, well, tell you what, I will email you that after this meeting. Let's not take up any more time right now, but I will
Okay.
email you the meeting ID. I'll create a new, actually, I probably can't create a meeting while I'm in a Zoom meeting, so I don't even want to mess with that. So I'll get you that meeting ID. So we'll meet on the 29th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming in.
thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so we've concluded that item, right, Mark? Even though we didn't vote?
Well, I think you voted on the motion to
Yeah, we did.
postpone.
Okay.
Did you call the question?
No, I don't.
Okay, call the question, yeah.
Daphne, would you please read
Wait.
oh, I'm
But-
sorry.
Did you call the question on voting to postpone? I don't recall if you actually voted. Did you guys vote?
Yeah.
Why don't you-
Yes, we
We
did.
did.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right,
Okay, so then, Daphne, would you please review the second item on our agenda this evening?
Yeah, so our second agenda item is for 5743 Lincoln Street. And so the owner, who's also here tonight, Amy Arnston, is requesting a variance from the minimum side setback for an addition to the existing residence. The applicant is requesting to build an 18 by 28 foot addition located 1 foot from the right side of the lot line. And the existing house measures only 3 feet from that same right side lot line. And so we require a minimum side setback of 7 foot 2 inches for this narrower R1 lot. And the proposed addition meets all other setback and lot coverage requirements.
Okay, thank you. So at this point, at 5:20, we'll open the public hearing portion of this variance. So Mark, since she read the application already, does she need to go through and read it again? I'm just following the outline here. Are there any other city site inspections or additional information?
Mark, you're muted.
I have no additional information.
Okay,
And it's fine how you handled the hearing notice, that's fine.
okay, thank you. So at this point, could the applicant please state your name for the record, and then you can present your argument for the variance.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to speak to you. My name is Amy Arnson, longtime resident of Middleton. This request is because I'm adding on to my little house. I'm trying to prepare it for aging in place. And so I'm adding on directly in back, just an extra, a master bedroom that'll have a accessible bathroom and a dining room area, kind of a general use area. There's no dining room in the house. So we're just going directly back out of the house where pretty much where the deck is where the addition's going to be. But the house is already up against the lot line. Now the novelty of it is I own this lot and the lot next to it. So it's two separate lots. I own them both. There you go. That's the picture of it. And just to clarify, what it says is the right side lot line. So I think when I'm looking at the house, it's the left side, but from this angle, it's the right side. So we're going with this angle, right? Okay.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I own both the lots, but my likely, what I'm probably going to end up doing is selling the second lot for a new house to be built. I'd originally planned to build a new house there, and then that just got too expensive. So I'm probably going to sell that, not right now. So I have to make sure my house stays within my lot. And then the idea is, since if I sell the other lot, I'm going to lose the garage. I'm going to need to build a garage for my new house, or for my current house. And that's going to go on the west side, on the left side, looking at that plan. So I need to leave space, which is why I can't push the development over to more to the west. So it's just kind of long-term planning. And the house, you can see, it's perpendicular to the road, but the lot line goes at an angle, and it's just a narrow lot. So it's it's not a big addition. It's just a little addition, but it'll be big for this house. And I just am looking to get that variance towards that right lot line. Did you have any questions for me?
Well, first, Mark or Daphne, is there any other staff reports relating to this variance?
We have nothing else, and I didn't receive any communications either.
Okay.
Daphne, did you?
No, I did not.
Is there anyone else on the call that would like to speak for or against this variance? So I'm assuming that's a no. Yeah, Amy, did you have anything else that you wanted? Is there any of the board members that have any questions?
I have a question. If this variance is granted, how is that going to affect the lot that she might be planning to sell? Will that become a non-conforming lot? Because we're taking something away from that lot?
It already is, just because of the width.
Yeah, would it make it even more problematic?
She would not be allowed to.
Well, are we deliberating now? Should I close the public portion, Mark?
Yeah, unless you have questions regarding her testimony, I guess in theory you should do that.
Right. So does anybody have any questions regarding the applicant's testimony?
Sure. Amy, did you look at any other configurations of adding on the dining room, bedroom, closet, to still fit within the lot line? And what issues or concerns did you have when looking at it, if you did?
We've been working on this. Mark can testify. I was in his office, last October. So gosh, I've been working on this for a year. We tried going up, including space with having a second level, and that didn't work because that didn't work. And then it gets long and narrow, and we were trying to keep the plumbing all within the existing house. So my current bedroom is actually going to become the master bathroom, or part of it, and laundry room, to keep the plumbing all within the original house. And basically the issue is financing. So I'm just on a limited budget. And so every we really had to work hard to try to get something reasonable within my budget. And this was it.
Does does your existing house have a basement, and will the addition have a basement?
The existing house has a basement, and yes, there will be an additional basement area.
Okay.
Something I have no opinion on, but the builder said that's what we're doing. It's not going to be finished or anything, but it'll be there.
Sure.
Daphne, can you go back to the site plan, please? Thank you. Mark Opitz. If and when she sells a lot next to her, could she have in the sales agreement a shared driveway that goes down, basically centered on the common lot line?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Technically, we require a 2-foot setback for the driveway. That's a good question, Mark. I think one could put that in there as an easement, like a cross-access easement, basically, for each property. Have that recorded. I don't have a concern with that.
See what I'm saying, Amy? You see what I'm saying?
I'm not sure exactly.
Well, and I'm just giving you another option. If you wanted to slide your addition over to the west and then put your garage behind the house and then come in on a driveway that's basically right on the lot line.
Well, except I will say, I was about to point to the image. So the corner of the house, the existing house, and the lot line is only like 4 feet. And so we had, in fact, at one point tried to think about a driveway through there and adjusting the lot lines and all that. But I don't know this stuff well. I do know we looked at that to an extent, but that's a really narrow spot.
Well, I can see that if and when you sell the other lot and you do decide to put a garage on the west side of your lot, you're going to be getting another variance because you'll probably be into the side yard setback.
No, I think we figured it. I mean, that's the idea, is we won't need one then. It will be back far enough. So yeah, it's going to go back. It'll be as close to the front as we can without needing a variance. And the designer has roughed that out and made sure that she accommodated for that.
And that was a single car garage?
Yeah, it'll be a small garage.
Okay.
Well, good, as long as that has been addressed.
Yeah.
Are there other questions for the applicant?
Well, I can see where the designer made an effort with this jog back in,
Yeah,
in the addition to try to keep it away. So we can applaud her for that.
right.
And looking at the dimensions of the room, I don't think that they're exorbitantly big. I think they're probably typical to.
Are we? Do we have any more questions for Amy or the applicant? If not, I can close the public portion at 5:30, and we can continue to deliberate. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Justin. Please go ahead, and then we can address John's comment.
Thanks,
too.
Amy.
No, that's fine. And just Amy, you're allowed to stay on and just listen to us deliberate. It's up to you. But thank you. I was just mentioning that the room sizes don't seem too absurd. You know,
No.
they're a pretty standard size, so I don't think there's any concern there. I think that this is a unique lot in that it's both narrow and the original home is oriented 45 degrees or 30 degrees off the off the grid. So I think in the case that this is kind of an odd shaped lot and how it meets the road, I think there's a logical
Bit of a hardship there.
Yeah, a logical hardship that I'm
Right.
seeing.
Daphne,
Justin,
can you zoom
Justin,
in
are you-
on, I'm sorry, Daphne, can you zoom in on where the actual addition is going to be coming close to the east lot line?
And Justin, were you basically
There we
talking
go.
about house is
Thank you.
skewed?
Sorry, what's that, Mark?
Were you talking about this, how the house is skewed in relation to the
Yeah.
lot line? Okay.
Correct. That combined with the narrow lot makes
Okay.
it kind of a
Now I can
difficult.
put, now I will put skewed in the middle. Thank you. Go ahead, Mark, sorry.
No, that's all. I just kind of wanted to see what some of the dimensions were here.
Mhm.
In addition, as the applicant already pointed out, that the existing home is over the setback currently as well.
Mhm.
Right.
Is there a reduced setback on this, Mark, because of the width? It's not 8 feet. is
Uh,
it?
If it's under 60 feet in width, yeah, I actually, Daphne maybe can answer that question because she drafted, I proofread it, but I didn't actually study this very carefully.
7 feet 2.
7 feet 2? Okay, thank you.
So the 8-foot setback is incorrect as drawn on the site plan. Oh, 7.2 is on there. I'm sorry.
Right, 7-2.
Where did I see 8? Yeah, okay.
Well, we probably said in the ordinance, well, no, if it said 7.2, then that's what the hearing notice would have said.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Double checking. Good. Hearing notice is 7.2.
Mark, did you want to continue the discussion? I think John asked a question about a substandard lot. If she sells lot 4 in the future?
Oh, you're talking to me. I was thinking you meant Mark Wolford at first. Yeah, so what will happen is, since the detached garage straddles the lot line, first of all, if you can't have an accessory structure, as you have to have a principal use on a separate lot. So it can't sit there alone. We've actually required removal of a standalone garage before. In this case, it's all grandfathered in, so that's fine. But to sell the property, that would need to be removed. And especially since it crosses the lot line, that's obviously a problem too. So I'm not sure what else the question was. So I think, that would be, I don't think that's a contingency you need to worry. Well, theoretically, there's one thing you could do, and I'm not advocating this, so please, Amy, don't be concerned about what I'm about to say. In theory, you could, for a substandard lot, require the combination of the two lots, but I'm not aware that the city has done that, nor would I recommend doing that. That way, that would avoid the nonconformity.
Right.
So,
Mark, another question for you.
yes.
If at some point she wanted to sell the lot next to her, and she took where that existing garage is, tore it down, and then built a garage on the same side of her existing house that did get into the other lot, and then sectioned off a rectangle of the lot she's selling. Is that
No.
possible?
No, because what is the lot area? Daphne, could you zoom in, please?
6,489.
Yeah, so she's not, an applicant, a property owner is not allowed to increase the nonconformity of a lot. So the minimum lot area is 7,200 square feet. So she could not do.
Okay.
So be it. Amy, would you think of riding a motorcycle instead of a car? Just kidding. And very thin garage.
That's definitely consistent with the whole aging in place philosophy.
There you go.
Right.
Well, I have all the information I need.
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
If there's no other discussion from the board members, Does someone want to make a motion?
Well, I'll make a
This is-
motion to
Go-
approve
go ahead.
the variance
Go ahead.
request.
I'll second it.
Then do we need to, are we just going to accept the hardships that the applicant submitted in her narrative? A small substandard lot, aging in place.
Yes, and I think Mark
Yep.
Opitz already had that stuff down.
Okay,
Yep.
What I've heard was
skewed,
the skew. Yeah.
yeah, the skewed
okay.
layout.
Uh, let's see, the substandard lot, skewed orientation of the house. That to accommodate aging in place, and you also, was it Justin? Justin made the comment that it's, the dimensions aren't exorbitantly big. It's a reasonably sized addition.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, Mark, I don't mean to be too technical, but it's not just that the house is skewed, it's that the lot is skewed to the road.
Right.
That
Okay.
causes the problem, I mean, that if this was perpendicular to the road and the house was skewed,
It wouldn't be a problem.
that would be a different.
Lot skewed to the road. Yeah. Yep. So I'm glad you're clarifying.
All right. All right, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Amy, thank you for coming in.
All right.
Thank you so
congratulations,
much.
Amy.
I appreciate it.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Good
go
luck.
for it.
I guess if there's no other items on the agenda, is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
I'll second it.
I don't know who those people were. You want me
Well,
just
let
to
Bob second it.
pick- And who made the motion?
I think Daphne made the motion, I'm not sure.
John.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, on
All right,
the
everybody.
29th, huh?
So we're on the 29th? Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
All right,
you.
good night.
Thanks.
Everyone.